We got our new oil pan and dipstick tube that came in today. So we are gonna go ahead and install them. Wait 90 minutes, put oil in it, and start it up. So let's get to it. Checked everything out. You can see the cylinders from the bottom side here. So I turned the engine over and I checked all the cylinders. They all look good. There's no scoring. Nothing really out of the ordinary. So hopefully if it did get run at all, it wasn't too long and didn't do any damage. First, we're gonna go ahead and scrape off the little gasket material. Today's a different day. Last night I went ahead, put oil in the Jeep. After I put the oil pan on, let everything dry, fired it up. It was a little bit grumpy at first, but got better. Still has a rough idle, but I've got a code here. It is cylinder 5 misfire. So that is that cylinder back there. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that spark plug, that coil with cylinder 3, move it forward and see if we get that code to transfer. If that does, then obviously it's either the pack or the spark plug, and we'll get those replaced. I'm also thinking it could be the injector, just because it's been sitting for a long time. It's got bad fuel, I'm sure. I did put 3 gallons in it of fresh gas with a bottle of seafoam, just to see if we can get, if there are sticking injectors, we can get them to loosen up. I'm sure this thing's been sitting for a long time somewhere in a yard and just kept on getting moved around, so I'm sure it's got turpentine in it. Anyways, we also have a little tick coming from this side of the engine, so we will take off the valve cover and see if we can find out. I know these things are known for the rocker arms kind of wallering out and getting a good tick from that, so hopefully we can find something under there that would indicate something like that. Other than that, before I run to the parts store and do all that, I'm gonna wait for this thing to cool off. While we're waiting for it to cool off, so I don't like working on hot engines, frustrates me, we are gonna go ahead and put this front axle in and go from there. We get it moving around under its own power, which would be kind of nice, and we get it outside so we get the frame straightened as well. So got a lot planned for today. Don't know if I'm gonna get it all done, kind of ambitious, but let's go ahead and get started on this front axle. We got the front axle under it, and we got the front wheels tires put on it. Got the drive shaft hooked up, and got her down on the ground. Looks a little bit better than when it rolled in here. Now let's see if we can figure out that number 5 cylinder misfire. So there you go, we got the spark plug and coil changed out. As you can see, the number 5 spark plug was pretty fouled compared to the number 1, and so yeah, there's something going on in there. Hopefully this transfers to the number 1 cylinder, and if it does, then we know it's either the spark plug or the coil. So let's go ahead, fire it up, and check our code reader. Zero. Back number 5. Going up. So this tells us we still have a misfire in cylinder number 1, and I'm thinking it's possibly the injector. So I went ahead and removed the valve covers. I wanted to check the rockers out and check out what everything looked like under there, and everything is in pretty good shape. No rockers are loose. The bearing in the center is usually what wears out in them from what I've seen, so I just wanted to check all those and make sure they're all good, make sure the cams weren't scored as well if it did get run without oil. And everything looks like it's in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and button it up and do a compression test. I did order a new injector from O'Reilly. It'll be here this afternoon, so I've got that already. The fuel smells absolutely terrible. It definitely smells like turpentine, so I'm sure this thing's been sitting in the lot for quite some time. I'm sure it's been a few years just because the crack block, nobody wanted it and everybody wanted to avoid it. So yep, that's where we get our bad fuel. So the tank was empty when I got it, so I'm just going to go ahead and top it off with good fuel, throw some seafoam in there, and see if we get it kind of diluted down enough to where it won't affect anything, where it'll run a lot better. So here is intake manifold over here. See, even that throttle body's dirty. deck. I'll clean that up before we throw it back in. We go ahead, throw the valve covers back on now that everything's all checked out, and then we'll get our fuel injector. We'll put that in. I'd let you do a compression test on all the cylinders as well. Just make sure, you know, check another thing off the list, make sure that's good, and we'll go from there. So I'm back from the parts store with my brand new injector. I did test the old one. I was able to test it with, let me see what I do with here's the old one right here, and that's how I checked it. I put 2 wires on there, just slide the terminals in between the wire cover in there, and then you can hook it to the battery and you can hear it click. It is positive and negative. It is marked, so if you do it, make sure you hook it up correctly. But yeah, I did that, and then I checked another injector, and that one clicked, and that one didn't. So went ahead, got the new injector. That was $100 because I'm impatient. Online, probably could have got it for like $30, but oh well. We'll go ahead, throw it in, and see if she runs. Alright, we got everything all buttoned back up. Let's go ahead and try to start it up. Alright, so there you have it. Good start. Everything seems to sound as it should. No odd noises, no rough idle, which is what I was doing before. No check engine light. Looks good. Can't even tell I was in there. Sounds like we got a little exhaust leak down here. You can kind of hear it. But it must be from the accident. Maybe it got shifted and who knows. But yeah. Other than that, everything sounds great. I am very happy. There you go. Oil pan and a fuel injector. We got some seafoam in it. And we'll clean out the rest of that old fuel that's in there. Exhaust looks good. Not hesitating anymore like it was. Check the oil pressure here. And we've got good oil pressure. Temp is good, pressure is good. Good to go. I'm gonna go drive it up front and surprise the wife. Alright, thanks for watching today's episode. Check back later, and in the next episode, I'm going to be pulling a frame against a tree with my come along. I've got a 4-ton come along, so I should be able to pull this over that inch that I need and make sure it's straight, and then we're going to go ahead and paint everything we need to paint. Thanks for watching. Check back for the next one.